Greetings everyone, Sean from the future here. This commentary is being recorded on the evening of March 28th, 2019. Actually, the early morning of March 29th by this point. So we're looking at Dark Century by Titus, which was an Amiga title from back in, I'm not sure what year it came out actually. It wasn't 1992 when these video letters were. It was a couple years earlier. I think it was 1990. But anyway, the cool thing about Dark Century is it was one of the first games, at least on the Amiga, to use real-time ray tracing for the 3D graphics, which is pretty cool. Now, for those who don't know computer animation lingo, essentially what ray tracing was a means by which you could have more realistic lighting and shading. It tended to use some pretty heavy processing to get decent results, but this was one of the big selling points of this particular game, was it was this tank-based action game that used ray tracing. So that was pretty cool. I always meant to get this game, and in fact, I think I may have ordered it at one point, but it never arrived or something. Anyway, that was Dark Century. On to Wrath of the Demon from ReadySoft. Wrath of the Demon is pretty cool. This is a more straight-up action game. Now, I was curious about this because, of course, I was a big ReadySoft fan because of because they're the same publisher that put out the Dragon's Lair and Space Ace games. But this was an original game that they put together, more kind of straight-up action. And this demo actually gives you a pretty thorough look at it here. So you just kind of see getting your mission here. Unlike a lot of other ReadySoft games, this is a fully playable demo, and it actually gives you a good chunk of gameplay to do. Now, look at that parallax scrolling. Isn't that amazing? That's freaking awesome. And the other thing I was really impressed by is just the fluidity of the animation. Like for the horse galloping and the guy riding it and the jumping and everything is great. So this is pretty straightforward. Jump over the obstacles, avoid the flying bat creatures, pick up items that are pick-upable. And there you go. That's it. Now, I'm assuming that these levels in the demo are kind of shortened versions of the full-length levels in the actual game. I don't know. I never actually got the full game, but I actually played this demo quite a few times before. Here we go. Just got a sword out. Just keep hitting that goblin in the face. Like how he laughs at you. Almost, oh no, we're actually doing okay. It's your health up in the upper left corner there. Victory! Yeah, it looks like it seems to be kind of the reverse of what health usually is, where it would turn red if you are dying, but it's red is good. You want it to be full of red. It's if it turns white that you're dying. So, yeah, see here, see it's fully red. There we go. So here we go. So this one is kind of the exception to the rule of the shortened levels, in that this one simply doesn't have an end to it. So I'm guessing in the actual game, you're running to a specific destination. You notice the signpost at the beginning showed one way you could go left, you could go right. So I'm kind of wondering if in the full game that meant you could go to one destination or the other depending on which direction you ran. Oh, and my guy faded out there. Okay. But no, it's pretty cool. And once again, I mean, check out that amazing parallax scrolling. That is absolutely beautiful. And it goes right up to the foreground. Usually parallax scrolling is primarily in the background, but here we've got like all these levels. I'm not sure how many layers of scrolling that is. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like at least 7 or 8 layers of scrolling there. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And once again, I mean, this ran on a bog standard Amiga with a 68,000 processor running at 7.14 megahertz. And I think it actually only needed half a megabyte of memory. It didn't even need a full mega memory. Oh, nice glitched monster there. Yeah. And they do seem to be kind of taking a bit of a cue from Dragon's Lair here. Like, I noticed you do kind of have to time your moves a little bit as far as avoiding certain perils, like the axe flying over, and we've only got 1 tick of health left. And we're dead. And now we get the longest, most drawn out, rub it in your face, you died moment in video game history. Yeah, it's still going. You're still dead. You're so dead. You're very, very dead. Oh, there we go. Let's carry on, shall we? I just love how ridiculously over the top that death dirge is. I have to say also I love the music in this. I mean, look at the visuals. This is just a beautiful looking game. And I love how, you know, they really, by going like here with having a static background and just putting some characters on top of it, they're able to put a lot of detail into those images, which is great. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. This makes me really want to track down the game, actually. I probably have it on my Amiga emulator somewhere. I might have to give this a spin at some point. Ah, and there you go. And that's it. Rather Demons Multi, this game containing over 3 megabytes of graphics data, 600 screens of action, 100 monsters, 1,400 frames of animation, smooth 60 frames per second, parallax scrolling, and over 100 colors on screen. October 1990, there it is. Wow, 1990. 60 frames per second. Witness the amazing power of the Amiga. Now this one's kind of cool. Another one that I actually only ever saw the demo of. I never actually played the full game. Pure Fiction. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, I see. We're loading in real time here. I guess I didn't shorten it. So this is... Generally, these demos would load pretty quick off the disc. There we go. Demoniac, an Alan Grant story. Now, no, that's not famed paleontologist Alan Grant from the Jurassic Park movies. No. This is Alan Grant, the British writer who wrote a lot of stuff for 2000 AD, the comic that spawned Judge Dredd and Rogue Trooper and the like. So this is kind of a big deal when it came out because it was basically an RPG written by this famous comic book writer. So it's a pretty big deal. I also really like the super stylized artwork here as well, which kind of evokes the feeling of a graphic novel. So I'm not actually entirely sure what kind of game this is. I just thought the demo was really cool, so I threw it in here for Jason to check out. But I'm guessing it's some kind of RPG graphic adventure type thing. Another one I'm probably going to have to check out at some point. Because, yeah, very nice. And this one, interestingly enough, all the sound effects and whatnot in it are actually in the music module used for the music. So in this case, even though I wasn't able to record the audio in stereo from, or like capture the stereo audio from the original 1992 recording, I was able to find the original music module and just kind of drop it in for you. So you get some of that nice stereo sound happening there. Yeah, whenever I can do that, I will for these retro videos. But sometimes you just can't because, I mean, there's sound effects and stuff in there too. So you can't really just ditch all the sound effects for the music. And that's it.
What else did I show you there? I showed you
and I guess that's it.
Demo for Dark Century.
No more video.
Which is a game I recently ordered. As a matter of fact, I'm expecting a lot of games in the mail. You may recall I purchased The Immortal a while ago, and my copy of it didn't work. Well, I sent a letter to Electronic Arts asking if they could replace it. I sent along everything I had, and they said, sure, no problem. They just wanted to check for $7.50 American, or a check or a money order, so I sent them a money order for that, and a copy of the letter they sent me just to keep it all square. So I should be getting that any time now, for a replacement for The Immortal. I also ordered Mantis, Experimental Fighter, from a software place in the States. And from another place in the States that sells software for as low as $3 for like an actual game. You know, this isn't like public domain or shareware stuff. This is actual commercial software. The only thing is they're like older games, right? That aren't that are for the most part out of print right now. So you can't really find them very easily. Anyway, they sell them dirt cheap. The most I paid for a game from them was $14.98 American. So this place is called Bare Bones Software. They sell everything dirt cheap, except for really new stuff. Really new stuff they sell regular price. I ordered Star Glider, which uses a similar style of graphics that Aquaventura used, the filled polygon style, which of course you'll recognize as well as being used in Out of This World, or pardon me, Another World, from a while ago. I ordered Star Glider, Star Glider 2, Carrier Command, Midwinter. Actually, Star Glider 2, Carrier Command, and Midwinter are in a 3-in-1 pack of 16 bucks. I figured, you know, 3 games for the price of less than 1. Why not? Dragon's Lair, Escape from Singe's Castle. Finally, they have it for $15. So I'm buying it from them, definitely. The order's in the mail. I should be getting it hopefully sometime in January. I ordered Dark Century from them. That's why I showed you the demo there. So once I get the game, I thought, you know, I'd show you a bit of the demo. Or I'd show you the demo rather, just the still pictures, you know, that's all that it is. Just sort of hype up the game a bit. Apparently Dark Century is supposed to be the world's first ray-traced game. You'll no doubt be somewhat familiar with ray tracing from working with the video toaster. I ordered a science fiction adventure game called Galactic Empire, and I ordered 2 other games from Cinemaware, the company responsible for It Came from the Desert, and the 2 games ordered from that company are Total Eclipse and Darkside. So in total I ordered 9 games from Bare Bones Software. Coincidentally, Total Eclipse and Darkside cost me $3 for one of them and $4 for the other. Not bad, eh? Like, these aren't like copies of games or anything. These are the actual games. They're either used or, you know, or new, just, you know, overstock or whatever. So I'm ordering them. So in total, I'm expecting 11 games to arrive in the mail, hopefully sometime within the next month. So should have lots of new stuff to show you fairly soon. Yeah. Oh, another thing I got for Christmas was the Laserdisc of Batman Returns, letterboxed as well. Quite nice. Really like this movie. That's from my dad. I also got the 5th and most recent Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book. From my mom, I got the indispensable Calvin and Hobbes. This makes 3 of the big books that I have. I have the essential Calvin and Hobbes, which was the first big book. And I have the second one they did. I can't remember what the title of that one is. And this one, which I believe is the 4th one. I think. Pretty sure though. Yeah. So like that. What else did I get? Yeah, that's more or less it. Lots of chocolate, lots of cookies. Oh, another thing I got, if I have enough tape. I understand these are quite popular in Ontario right now. Got a collector's edition Nutcracker, Robin Hood style. That's from my mom as well. She figures it'll be a big collector's item someday, so she got me one, and I like it. It's nice. What else? I think those are the main things. I showed you the Genesis and the computer games. Final copy too. Here, I'm planning to sit down and do the final rewrite of my script. That's a really nice word processor too, so it has a 1.4 million word thesaurus in it, as well as a 144,000 word spell checker, which is kind of nice. Excuse me while I scratch my chest there. Excitement there. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, of course, well, like I really have to mention. You also saw the demo for Wrath of the Demon there, which I recall you really liked, and which I promised to show you again a while ago. Yeah, I thought you'd like to have a copy of that, so there it is. Complete with the death music, which you cannot bypass. Also, you saw a demo for another game, a fairly recent game called Demoniac. Science fiction adventure game. Looks interesting. I think I might pick it up if I can find it. Actually, yeah, it's fairly recent, so it shouldn't be hard to pick up. Well, anyway, I will bid you farewell for the end of this tape, and I'll see you on tape 2. Yeah, Mindy and I are having our New Year's Eve party here tonight. Yeah, I guess that's about it. That's about all that's been happening lately. Well, there's some other news, but I don't have enough tape right now to get to that. So I'll talk to you on the next tape. So until then, adios. Thing. Bye.